Hey there, it's Matt from 2A Cops. I'm out here today at the range and I want to do a couple of updates to a couple different videos that I've done. One of the guns that needs to be updated, one of the videos that needs to be updated was I put out a video commenting about how my Springfield Kuna had been disabled and I couldn't figure out what was going on with it. It was in the lower, the safety would not go back onto safe. The gun still functioned, trigger worked, hammer worked, it would have fired had I been using it at the time. I figured out what it was. So I sent the gun in, actually I just sent the lower in because mine's SBR'd, so that complicates sending the whole gun in. But since it was just the safety that was malfunctioning, all I had to do was send in the lower. Sent it in, they tore it apart, and they found a piece of debris, as they worded it, that had gotten wedged into the safety. Don't know exactly where in there, but the piece that was in there had disabled the safety. At the time, I was unaware of how to take the lower apart, get the trigger out. I have since figured out how to do it. I still don't know that I would have been able to do it based on the fact that I couldn't turn the safety at the time. But it was not a fault of the gun. Let me reiterate that. Nothing on the gun's part is what caused the gun to be disabled. Out here, I've got several of my PCCs. This is my Scorpion, and it is currently wearing my Yankee Hill R9 can. If you, let me see if I can get this close enough to where you can see the color on the tip. You'll see there's like a half moon shape in the in raw metal there. This can used to live on here. I've since updated my can and muzzle device, so I can't put it back on here. But it had been living on here for quite some time. And at some point, and I think it happened during the Boise Black Rifle Range Day, because we had it out there and lots of people were shooting it that day. And we had a bunch of different guns going on all at the same time, and I wasn't paying too close of attention to it. I ended up getting an end cap strike. My baffles are completely intact, but I think the can had come slightly loose and it caused it to, one of the rounds, one or more than one of the rounds, I had an end cap strike and it had deformed the can. I've since repaired the deformed portion of the can and have done an alignment rod to check to make sure, and there won't be any more issues. But there had been a couple of rounds that impacted that end cap. When that happened, and I know this is what happened because they actually, Springfield was nice enough to send me the chunk of debris that they removed from the gun. I'll take a nice close-up picture of this and put it on screen here so you can see it. That chunk of debris is a piece of copper jacketing off of a round. So what had happened at some point during that day out at the range with lots of people shooting it, there was an end cap strike. It stripped off a chunk of the jacket. The jacket got caught in the can. It worked perfectly fine all day at the range. The next couple of days, I had this gun at the store and we were showing it to customers because they were coming in, and that was the only Kuna we had available to show people who were interested in purchasing one. So we pulled it out multiple times and opened the bolt to show them that it was clear before handing them the gun. And typically when I'm doing that, I've got the gun like this. I'll open it up, display it to them so they know it's clear, let the bolt go back forward, and then I'll hand them the gun with it on safe. So after doing that several times, that chunk of debris that was stuck inside this can when it was on this gun made its way down through the can into the barrel, and then when I cracked it open, that chunk of debris fell down into the bottom of the gun here, got in the trigger portion of the gun, worked its way back into the safety, and had disabled the safety. So, absolutely nothing wrong with the gun. They didn't replace any parts. They took it apart. They found this chunk in there, and they cleaned it up, sent it back to me, and it has been running flawless ever since. I've since, like I mentioned, I changed muzzle devices and I changed cans. This can uses my can, that the Yankee Hill can, uses an ASR muzzle device. I ended up getting a Otter Creek lithium, and I wanted to run a 3-lug on it because For 9mm cans, that makes more sense to me. Much easier to swap around. This Yankee Hill R9 can, I use it on all kinds of stuff, so I don't want to take the ASR off of it. I run it on 300 blackouts. I run it on my 308. It's a super durable can. But it's got an ASR on it, so I can no longer run it on the Kuna. So that's my update on the Kuna. The Kuna's back in business, working flawlessly. I'm going to shoot it here in a couple minutes. I've got several rounds, several mags here loaded up with 140 grain S&B subsonics, totally hearing safe for that matter. I've got, let me find my sunglasses, here we go. For that matter, I mean, I've got no ears on, I'm actually under a metal cover. This thing is super quiet. It's just stupid quiet. This is a very fun gun to shoot, especially suppressed. So, that's the update on that guy. Working great, no issues, safety functions flawlessly. Get this brass out of the way here. All right, so then the next gun I want to update. Really quickly, I need to thank my channel sponsors. US Law Shield, been a long-time supporter of this channel. Thank you very much for your support. Boise Black Rifle, discount code 2ACOPS. You can find links in the description of this video below. Aegis Gun Care, same thing, big supporter, huge fan of their products. Discount code 2ACOPS. And then Thor Targets, love their targets. Thank you for providing the targets. 2ACOPS, discount code there as well. Links to those sites are in the description below. All right, let's get into this. Take these off so I can see what I'm doing again. So this is the PSA Jackal 9. This gun has functioned flawlessly. I've not had any malfunctions with it that I did not induce. And by that, let me tell you what I've got going on here. My Scorpion here, I've had it for 4 years. I've got a ton of mags for it, including 3 Magpul D50 drums. Those drums have functioned flawlessly in this gun. I can't show you a drum on YouTube because YouTube will demonetize or even age restrict my video because I put a drum in it. But they run perfectly fine in this gun. For that matter, I had friends in town visiting from California stand last week. We came out here to the range. We were shooting the Scorpion quite a bit, and I did a whole 50-round Magpul drum dump without a hitch. I've used those drums in competition in that gun. Every time I've used this gun, I've used those mags. They have hit the ground out here at the Parma Range. People that are familiar with the Parma Range, the dirt out here they refer to as moon dust because it's very fine dust. Nothing has ever happened with those mags. Knowing how well the Magpul drums function, I wanted to be able to use them in this Scorpion. I'm sorry, in the Jackal 9. So I mentioned when I did my Jackal 9 review that you could not fit the Magpul drums in here because PSA, for whatever reason, had reshaped the mag well. A couple people commented that have PSA ARVs, and they're like, hey, the drum mags fit perfectly fine in mine. They would not go in here. PSA did reshape the mag well. On the ARV, the mag well is perfectly flat at the bottom on the Jackal 9, and I was just watching a video on Instagram where they were showing the new Saber ARV, and it looks like it has the same lower that the Jackal 9 does. The mag well, instead of going straight across, angles down on the front. That angling down prevents the Magpul drum from seating because the front of the drum hits the bottom of the mag well before it will actually lock in. I didn't think it was that much, so I decided to modify the bottom of my mag well here to allow it to actually accept Magpul drums. I'll bring it over closer to the camera so you can see what was done to the bottom of the mag well here. So I ended up on the sides. I had to take quite a bit up there. I'm gonna clean that up later with some Aluma Black so it's not as ugly looking as it is. But I had to take quite a bit off here. That's where the portion of the mag well, the drum mag sits in there. And then I actually had to open up quite a bit there as well. right now it looks kind of ugly because it's raw aluminum. Once I've got some Aluma Black on there, it'll look better. It doesn't affect, that change does not affect how stick mags function in this gun. They function flawlessly. But it did allow me to seat the Magpul drums. 2 weekends ago, I was out here and I was running this gun in an action steel match as my PCC. I had all 3 of my Magpul drums out here. I've got them over here off camera. They function flawlessly in the Scorpion, like I mentioned. I put them in here and I was getting feeding issues within 5 rounds. I couldn't get 5 rounds out of them at a time without them. I was getting like double feeds. In the competition, I just dumped the mag, cleared the gun, threw a stick mag in it, and kept going. I tried all 3 of my drum mags. Every single one of them did the same thing. I want to say one of them I only got like 2 rounds out of it before it malfunctioned. Stick mags, not a single issue, flawless all day. So after the 3rd stage, I just stopped messing around with the drums and just stuck with stick mags. And by stick mags, I'm talking about both Magpul and the PSA brand magazines. Everything worked fine, except for the Magpul D50s, which led me to, I'm surmising, I'm guessing here on my part, that PSA reshaped this mag well to prevent people from putting Magpul D50 drums in this because something about this gun does not like the Magpul D50s. Couldn't tell you what it is. The ARV and the the ARV and the Jackal 9 lowers are the same, the uppers are completely different. So people who've got ARVs are going to tell me, hey, the drums run fine in my gun. Probably so. It's a 9mm AR. 9mm pattern ARs that use Scorpion pattern mags, there's no history of them having any kind of issue with Magpul D50s. I think something about the shape of the bolt in the Jackal 9 does not like the Magpul D50 drums. Couldn't tell you why. The only difference between the way they feed and a standard stick mag feeds is on a stick mag, it's a dual feed, it's a double column mag. So at the top of the magazine, as the gun's running, one time you'll get around from one side of the mag, the next time you get around from the other side of the mag. The Magpul D50 drums, it's always on the right side of the magazine. I don't know if that causes a hiccup, if it's the weight of the magazine, if there's something different about the feed lips in the Magpul D50 drum. Something about them does not run in the Jackal 9. So I'm assuming that is why PSA reshaped the mag well and prevented you from putting in D50 drums. So if you're out there and you've got a Jackal 9 and you're like, I really wanted to run the D50 drums, trust me, don't chop up your mag well making it room for the D50 drum to fit, because it's not going to run. If anybody who works out at PSA happens to see this video and can verify anything that I'm saying here, I would love to hear from you. I'm assuming it was an intentional act that they did that to prevent the D50 drums from going in here. Every stick mag I have run this gun, whether it was a Factory CZ Scorpion mag, whether it was a PSA brand mag or a Magpul stick mag, has functioned flawlessly. This gun has been 100% reliable until I stuck a Magpul D50 in it. I am going to, off camera, try the drum again in here, and I've got them right now, right where they had malfunctions. I haven't cleaned them, I haven't changed ammo, I haven't reloaded them. I am going to, actually for that matter, I'm just going to take them as is, stick them in the Scorpion and see if they run. And then I will know for certain if the Jackal 9 was the issue. I've got the Magpul D50 drums here. You can't see this on video. So if you want to see this video, you're going to have to jump over to the bank switch. I'm going to upload the video of me shooting this over there. I can't show it to you on YouTube because they will kill my video. So here it goes. Flip over there if you want to see it. If you don't care, you don't care. Now I can come back on camera here on YouTube and show you an empty gun. Just ran it. I think there was probably a total of maybe 80 rounds there or better. I don't know, I wasn't counting. But gun ran flawlessly. No malfunctions whatsoever with the 2 drum mags that had both. So now that's 3 of the Magpul drum mags that ran flawlessly in this, but would not get through more than a couple rounds out of the Jackal 9. So, said it again. The issue definitely appears to be Jackal 9 related. There's got to be a reason they reshaped that mag well to prevent Magpul D50 drums from going in it. So that's what I got update-wise. Again, this gun, other than when I put Magpuls in it, Magpul D50s in it, has functioned 100% flawlessly. You will notice it does look a little different than it did when I was running the review video. I think that's all I got. All right. I just stopped myself from saying all right, so.